these same tournaments, kind of close to one another. DreamHack San Diego, Djessir was 33rd, and Wubz was 25th.
Wubz, of course. I mean, I'm still reminiscent of Wubz whenever he was on the Azoth, right? Because that was Wubz.
Oh yeah.
The bow side signature, the Wubz step. But yeah, he is going to be locked in on the Fate today. Djessir on the Teros, also a pick that we know and love from Djessir. Been repping that for a super long time. Djessir, so far patrolling the ground. We have a pretty even start here. Going out through the D-Sig, but Wubz is going to be able to find a pretty sweet punish there.
Djessir kind of setting up. Oh, goes for the Stomp Sidelight. Knows not to go for the Stomp Side Air because of what you do when you pick up that D-Light right over the corner when your opponent is a little bit over the edge. Tried to go for the down air there with GC Sidelight. No punish coming out from Djessir right away. He attempted it, but didn't find a connection. Djessir is trying to control the ground as best he can. We're seeing Wubz spend time in the air, really using that down air to hit that 45-degree angle where Hammer kind of has nothing, especially at that range.
Yeah, so far both players incredibly low. It's going to be Djessir that's finding that first knockout with the Stomp Sair. Going to be sticking to the hammer as well. Wubz, lots of missed attacks. Djessir, some crazy options coming out on the hammer. And he's keeping it going! Gets the stock. Djessir, 3 stocks against 1, Sparky.
And this is huge. This is that like game-changing potential that a legend like Teros has. He was already starting to build up the damage quickly enough that we're like, okay, is he going to be able to run away with this? And then he hit the side signature. Nice insig from Wubz there, starting to bring this one back. Didn't take too much damage on final stocks, but keep in mind, this is elimination quarterfinals to move into top 32. This is a massive match for both of these players, whether they want their run to end today or whether they want to make it to finals day. There's the GC Sidelight into the Nair. Okay, Wubz starting to really come back. Only has about 50 damage on this stock, so the comeback potential is very real, Polly.
Yeah, Wubz kind of waking up here on the last stock, able to deal out a lot of damage. He still needs to find this knockout, though. And I mean, you don't really think about it, but Teros has a misleading amount of defense. He's actually pretty tanky. Djessir on the axe. I'm expecting a D-Sig, a recovery at any moment, but Wubz is able to get one for himself. And Wubz, I mean, he's just sticking close to Djessir right now, giving him no room to breathe whatsoever.
Charging up that side signature. He knew how low Djessir was. Oh, and that time he did the minimum charge time, so he got the little shotgun blast on it. That's really the trade-off that you go for, whether you want to go the long range with some charge up time or whether you want to hit that shotgun blast right in front of you. You saw both options there, but overall, Djessir's going to take it with a JV2, had a fresh stock to his name by the time that one was all said and done.
And that is going to be game 1 closed out with Djessir taking the first stock. Now, you know Wubz better than I do. You know these NA players way better than I do. Are you expecting Wubz to legend swap here? What do you think is running through his mind right now after this game, where the beginning of the game didn't go as great, but the second and third stock were going so much better?
3, you know, I wasn't feeling the vibes coming out from the orb, at least yet. Now, we are in a best of 5, so you oftentimes see players, like, they'll run 2 games on their main legend until they're like, okay, it really isn't working now. Now I'm going to swap. I think he's likely going to be staying with this one. He has a few Scythe characters under his belt. Okay. He has reported the Jiro. He has reported the Nyx as well. I doubt we're going to see the Nyx, but of course he also has reported a lot of Fate. He might be thinking about changing after this, but, you know, going against Djessir here, the orb, not my favorite thing that he's been using so far. We'll see if he can sort of turn that around this game.
Yeah, it's been on the orb right now. Djessir is just landing D-Light after D-Light after D-Light, and you see Djessir going for another one. GC'd all the way up, getting a little bit funky with it, but Wubz is able to get some response attacks in his favor. A little bit of a neutral scramble, but Djessir is going to be able to pick up that knockout with the Nair, sticking to the axe.
Yes.
Wubz needs to figure out how to deal with this D-Light, man, because while you were talking, Djessir hit like 7 of them.
That's what I was just about to point out, is especially that D-Light, the anti-air potential of that, especially if Wubz, well, really has either weapon. He just threw that the wrong way. Either weapon he has, like the Orb Dare was his main initiation before. On Hammer, that's great. On the Axe D-Light that Djessir is spacing so well, you're not going to have as easy of a time getting through it, and you saw that.
Just keeps going for them, but Wubz is finally able to pick up that knockout yet again. Of course, he has the weapon advantage here, so if he's able to squeeze out just a couple of attacks before Djessir gets that weapon, which he will be able to. That's a big read with the N-Stick to finish it off as well. Djessir now evened out HP on both sides here. He's on the hammer. We've seen this hammer able to do some work.
Dude, it's
I don't know
so
how much
scary.
faith I have.
It's so scary when like Wubz gets hit in orange and you see how deep he's sent off stage, partially due to Teros, but also heavily due to Hammer as well. Charging that one up, goes for the GC in-sig, but Wubz was
so
way
close.
too far back. Oh, he didn't throw out the recovery there. He was looking for the side air, maybe to bounce off, then turn around, hit another side air with the Hammer, chasing across the stage. That sends off screen. The weapon toss hits, interrupted the recovery, goes for the D-sig. That was his Hail Mary. Almost
so
had enough
close,
distance
dude.
on it to touch the
It
wall.
was so close as well. I mean, Djessir almost got caught in that. That would have given him the opportunity to come back as well. Djessir, though, with this lead, able to pick up even more damage.
He goes for the sidelight into the neutral air poly instead of the sidelight side air. True KO combo.
Djessir able to rack up even more damage. 2 nairs coming out, goes for the third one, not able to connect that one, but he still has such a large damage lead. Wubz, I'm always talking about the weapon advantage whenever someone respawns, and Wubz has shown us that he's able to play these kind of encounters. He's able to find 2 attacks. You know, still, this damage, when you're in a situation like Wubz is, you take it.
Ooh, the stomp side air. You see Wubz in KO damage, dodging through that side air, getting back to the main stage. The turnaround down air, giving him enough room. Okay, a little bit of juggle action coming through with the double neutral airs. Trying to find his way back in. Again, these down airs are going to be his way in, especially when Djessir has the Hammer.
He just needs a stomp there. He's looking for it. He's looking for the right opportunity to strike, but it looks like he's looking for an opportunity that doesn't exist. Wubz just continuing to throw out attack after attack, and Djessir is just kind of taking it. Zair comes out. Djessir doesn't know what to do anymore. Recovery? No, but Wubz doesn't go above him. He's smarter than that. Side sig misses.
Okay.
Wubz gets the sidelight Zair.
No weapon. Almost got the bounce off the wall with the down air. Djessir at the weapon disadvantage. And Djessir was doing like what you need to do when you're the Teros player in that moment, especially when your opponent is as damaged. That's very ominous looking. I'm a little bit frightened right now.
I'm a little bit afraid myself.
But the
yeah.
fact that like Wubz was just basically running all over Djessir towards the end, and that's not because Wubz is that much better than Djessir.
He was scared.
It's that Djessir was just like waiting for his moment to find the stray Hammer side air, the stray axe side air, because he knows that he is Teros and he knows how rough shape his opponent was in. So really, he only needed that one stray hit, and he could have taken that game.
Djessir needed to create that opportunity, and I mean, in the beginning of the games, Djessir always coming out super strong, and that's a player that creates his opportunities. He runs in there, he swings that hammer, and he gets his attacks. But towards the end, I think he just got a little bit too scared, and this time around, he is going to be swapping over to that Olgrim. Yet another pick. Djessir, he's been ripping this Olgrim in 2v2 for the longest time. So this is a pick. I mean, this pick makes me happy.
And this is his most reported legend in 1v1s. It may not be the legend that he plays the most, but it is the legend that he certainly reports the most in the bracket. I would agree as well. There's the side light into the D light. Doesn't go for the Nair option there. He wants those juggles, man. He's been doing a great job with it. That's likely why he's carrying over the axe rather than going to another Hammer legend.
Yeah, Djessir. I'm excited to see what he's going to be able to do on that LAN against Wubz, but so far, I mean, you've been saying you didn't like this orb. For every game that goes by, I'm liking the Wubz orb even more and more, but as I say so, Djessir giving him a hard time off stage with that Lance, going in for the D-Sig as well, able to pick up that knockout.
I liked the orb against Hammer for sure, but the axe was just shutting down the orb so much. That was the matchup that he was really struggling with. Let's see what he does here. There's the sidelight Nair coming out this time. There's the strong D-Light with the big kick. There's the weapon toss over the edge. Did not get the touch, I don't believe.
Close.
No, he did get the touch.
Wubz almost just barely getting the knockout. I'm not sure how he got the touch there, but in Wubz's favor, Djessir is not going to be able to get a lot of damage out of that opportunity that was given to him. He's going to be picking up that axe again. Wubz disarming himself, and we're back into the matchup. This is the matchup that you didn't believe in.
You keep saying.
I keep saying it because you said it, dude.
I said his orb
How can you cast Blade on Wubz's orb, dude? He's going crazy.
I said his orb was good. I liked his orb. I said he was doing what you're supposed to when you're playing into Hammer, but he was struggling against the axe, but he was, man. Come on.
Djessir able to pick up that recovery, giving Wubz a hard time yet again off the top of the screen, charging up that D-Sig. Wubz isn't going to fall for something like that, but it pushes him off, giving him the opportunity to then later go for that ground pound. Swapping over to the Lance, able to get that Zair, and now he has himself a lead again.
Now, we haven't seen like that much from the Lance so far from Djessir, but like the second he picked it up, he's been able to find a side air. Oh, dude, that is so good.
What is that from Djessir? He keeps it going. He's pushing this advantage. Wubz finally able to get back up stage and picks up a side.
There's the recovery with the weapon toss, getting maybe a little cheeky with that arcing motion in that weapon toss. The inlight sending over the edge. He's going to hold on to that. He might throw it soon. Okay, Wubz is able to get back, so he picks up the orb, which Polymonto was saying was not very good earlier. I thought it was great, but Polymonto really did not believe in the orb whatsoever. He said it was bad, I believe, is a quote.
Djessir now on the lands. Looking for a Sarah, looking for anything. Djessir had a hard time last game to be able to find this knockout.
Nice patience.
Again, very good patience indeed, able to pick up that side signature, and these are the moments where I am fearful, because Wubz is able to rack up a lot of damage very, very quickly. Djessir is on that axe. We can get a D-Sig, we can get a Sarah, we can get anything. He just needs it to connect.
And you saw like the first two moves he threw out, he was looking for that stray side air. Similar fashion to the end of last game. There's the D-Sig, but Wubz is staying above it. And there is the stray hit to take that game and put him up 2-1 in favor of Djessir over Wubz. I really like the Lance gameplay there. Not that we saw like a bunch of it or that it was amazing, but the fact that he was able to pick up the Lance for like the first two stocks and then instantly find a side air, which is really one of your major KO moves when you're a Lance player. He didn't have to have any huge setup. He didn't have to fish around for 20 minutes. He wasn't hitting side light nair while his opponent was at 250 damage. He picked up the Lance, he found the side air, he got the stock, swap back to axe, do the damage, and then rinse and repeat every single time.
I do have to say though, I like the Teros better. Djessir, I think maybe he got a mental reset, because he's still, like, his strongest weapon is axe, and his axe is stronger now than it was on Teros. This is the same axe. I mean, you're using the same light attacks. He has the D-Sig, sure, but he only connected one of them. So I'm not so certain. Maybe we will see a little bit more of that Lance action, but Wubz has something else in mind. His orb, I mean, he's all about those stairs,
bro.
He's
all
about
goodness.
those stairs.
See, now Djessir has the 360 degree with the neutral. Like, Wubz is finding connection. This is like the only move he is throwing out. I wish we had statistics to tell us how many times he threw out the down air.
I mean, it's working. Well, you don't gotta fix something that ain't broken.
How do they say that in Swedish?
I don't know.
Do they have a phrase for it?
I don't think so.
Oh,
there might be. I might just not know it. Add me on Twitter if you know it.
Swedes, we need you for this one.
Yeah, the 3 Swedish people watching in total. Hello. Sideline air coming out. Djessir, GC D-Light isn't going to be able to connect. Wubz, he is in a disadvantage.
Wubz has had like 2 crazy weapon toss. There was the one that was completely the opposite direction, and then there was that one that went completely high while Djessir was so low. Djessir does have this lead though. He's able to grab that weapon almost immediately, picks up the neutral light. Wubz, of course, staying in the air, hoping to not get juggled. Now he's the one kind of controlling the ground, but the falling down air from Djessir.
I love it. It feels like Wubz's game plan and gameplay don't change whatsoever depending on whether he's in the lead or not in the lead. He's still playing the same way, still going with the same game plan, and it is working out phenomenally well for him. Able to pick up that dodge. I actually think he just straight up didn't have enough aerial options to be able to continue that read. Used like most of his jumps, used that chase dodge as well. Djessir able to pick up an end light though. Wants to try and commit to off stage, goes for weapon throw, ground pound maybe.
Oh, he didn't charge that one up. I thought he might for just a moment, but no, one of the kind of more minimum charge time on that signature when you do have the option to hold it and keep that chainsaw out. One of the few times we've seen a Lance D-Light coming out. There's the neutral light sending over towards the edge. Tried to go for the read with the turnaround recovery as Wubz recovered high and over. There is a weapon spawn on the field. We'll see if anyone changes. It's likely going to be Djessir. If he does, I don't know if he has enough room here. If he gets hit, it could be sending him far away because he is in the orange, which means he's going to be disarmed. And then Wubz can cycle out weapons and refresh for another orb. Somehow he had the range with the GC N-Sig. You see the side sig off the stage in celebration of that. And once he feels safe, swaps back over to the axe. There is a spawn on the field. Djessir just kind of playing around it. Doesn't immediately try to strip the field from Wubz.
Yeah, Djessir in general seems to prefer weapon guarding over weapon starving, right? And Wubz as well has been very successful in doing so, especially whenever he's on that orb, able to pick up some good reads. Wubz now very damaged, but he is still trying to find this stock. He's on the side, going to be swapping it over to the unarmed. Now with the orb, Djessir finds the Sarah though, charges up the end sig. It's not going to be connecting.
Two big reads, one from Wubz with the side signature while Djessir was really high in the air, and then with the neutral signature from Djessir on Olgrim's axe over on the edge. Neither one made contact. Djessir with a nice lead here. He is in KO damage, but Wubz is in orange on final stock, and Djessir's up a game.
Finds the end light, wants to commit to that offstage. D-Sig isn't going to be connecting. Recovery does though. So close at this point. Side signature won't connect either. Looking for a D-Light, gets the D-Sig.
He thought he won.
Enough. Even production,
he thought he won on that, but he
thought
didn't.
it was over. It's not done yet. Wubz has a chance. Goes for the second D-Sig.
Oh, the whiff side air, and there's the D-Sig. It makes the connection.
Do you hear the siren, Sparky?
What do they sound like?
Do you hear the siren?
I might be hearing the sirens based on the way that...
It's the EU sirens, baby.
Based on the way Djessir's playing right now, based on the way we've seen Godly and Sin play this weekend, who knows? Djesser's got to be feeling good after...